Welcome to Julie the Thrifty Designer. Today I'm going to just talk a little bit about this Christmas tree. So stay tuned. Well, guys, this tree is actually what I'm calling my memory tree. I have about a 4.5-foot tree, and what I have on this tree is ornaments that was my mom and dad's. Ornaments like this one that's handmade, and another one right here that is handmade, and just some of these like that. And how about the beautiful old birds, and a very old one there. And this one was one I loved growing up as a kid. Most all of these ornaments are 60 plus years old, and a good share of them, like this and this, are at least 90 years old. There is so many ornaments. And then I have on there an old card that was the last card that was given to my mother before her father died. It's my grandfather's last card. And he died 70 plus years ago. So I don't know when he actually gave her that card, but it was the year before he died. So that alone is around 70 years old. And then I have other ornaments on here that are just very, very old. So, and some of these are 30s, 40s, 50s. And then we have some homemade with, believe it or not, they're made on an old Coors box of back in the 40s or 50s. And they cut them out and made Santa Claus, and those were things that my mother did when she was young. So it was probably even more than the 40s or 50s. It was 30s, 40s anyway. Anyway, I just thought I would show you this beautiful old. Now there is some that's newer. This is just an older can, but it was still my mom's, and that's still at least 30, 35, maybe 40 years old. And then the old-fashioned style electric clip-on. See, here's the wire candles. And those were also my parents', and they still work. And they were so short together. My dad was an electrician, and he split more wire in between and made them so they could stretch from branch to actually branch. But these have been, well, these came out in the 80s, I would say, the early 80s. And my parents bought them, and we've used them and made old-fashioned trees ever since. And I know that star was definitely one my parents had before I was born, or at least since I was born. And I'm 60 years old now. And so, you know, it's at least right around that age. And the garlands, now, like this red garland, that isn't like antique, but it's vintage. It's from like the 70s or 80s. But then I have on here the beads. There we go. See the beads there? Now those could be close to 100 years old. This tree is my tree of memories. And those are glow in the dark. And I remember how we put those together in the 1970s. I was probably 10 or 11 years old when we got those. And then I had put on a few little things, like I did the bundle of Yeah. Just love when your word just goes out of your mind. Anyway, cinnamon. There we go. My brain would only work sometimes. But this old tree had seen, I guess, better days. It just needed a working over. So what I had done was literally the top of the tree. This was one of those when you fluff it, it was so thick. So what I actually did was went in and I cut out a lot of pieces of the tree and made it thinner in the top. And then down at the bottom part here, as you can see, here's a good example of it. I just didn't really fluff very much these branches, kind of left them flatter so that it would kind of take on more of that old-fashioned style tree. And at night with all the lights on, it kind of fills in so you don't see it as much, but I will insert a picture that I took of this during the day just so you can see the shape of the tree. But I think it's really a charming, old-fashioned memory tree. Now, I did decorate my bay window. I don't know. I think I've got to dig around and hunt for them, but I have some red pillows. I think I'm going to take the white ones out and put the red ones in because, I don't know, I'm not doing much with white this year, so it kind of doesn't really go like I would like it to as much. But I think it's still a beautiful bay window, quite inviting. And I put up my garland, and I've kept the garland very simple. But I'm going to tell you about this garland. I have older style garland, and it still works, it functions, it's in good shape, it looks good. But I've been seeing all this newer Real Touch style garland. And I would just kind of like to be able to get some new Real Touch garland. And I just can't afford to do it. And I don't know, I swear I heard God say, go to the thrift store. I have something special for you. So I went to the thrift store, and lo and behold, in a box was 4 sets. Well, not 4 sets, but 4 lengths. They're 6 foot each. There's 2 here. And in the other room, I have another 2 and also a swag. And I got to looking at them after I got them home. I bought them. I got to looking at them, and these are actually Crate and Barrel, I think it said. And I looked them up online, and they're $100 each, $109 each, actually. And I got all of them for $20. I'll show the others in another video. I'm just showing these ones for tonight. But I sure think they look pretty. They just have such a, I think these are the cedar style, and they just look so realistic. I just love how they look. And they're the plastic, I guess, but boy, they are just so soft and pliable. I mean, just gorgeous. And so, and then up there is some more of my painting and my woodwork that I did. I've got the walls painted on the upper half, and I put in my crown molding and all the moldings around the doors. Isn't that just, I think it really turned out very pretty. And then the tree, and I've gotten some decorating around the fireplace, and I think it's really quite pretty. I haven't totally finished, so I'm going to show the actual fireplace in another video. But I'm just, you know, all I have actually done here is a tribute to my sister who passed away earlier this year, this spring. And I never realized it, but she had this picture to my sister. Sisters share a special bond, a love that always there. A sister can be counted on to listen, help, and care. When days are long and life is tough, a sister helps you through and shares that very special love that sisters always do. That was my sister to a T. Perfectly. That was her. This was her wedding picture in 1969. She was so beautiful. And she had it in her stuff. I don't know if she was intending on giving it to me at some point. I don't know. But my niece found it and she handed it to me. So I got a frame and I put it around it and I put the picture of my sister and the handkerchief that was given to me at her memorial. And I've just keeping them there. I look over and I cry and smile and remember my wonderful sister. But we're still celebrating Christmas anyway. And so the real meaning of Christmas, the Christ child, and the greenery, and just beautiful berries. I just kind of somewhat keeping it simple this year. And deer and books and some more greenery and a pot with just a simple bow. And at the top, I think it looks kind of neat. It's just books and a statue with some more ribbon and greenery and just arranged in a pretty way. And then in the middle shelf, just a couple of reindeer on some books and just greenery and a candle. And they're on timers and they're already off for the night, so eventually maybe you'll see them with everything lit. But in here, when it's all lit up, you don't see the candles very well anyway, so it won't make that big of a difference. But reflected in the mirror is the Christmas tree. It's just so beautiful. And I chose a smaller tree this year. And I've just put this table. I just wanted the memory tree and a chair that we can sit in. And the memory tree. I needed this year to just have my memories. As I grieve my sister, I still have to make Christmas as special and as wonderful as I possibly can. For her sake, a memory. She loved Christmas as much as I do. So, but this ornament right here, it is, I don't know, it's so ugly, it's cute. My mom made that when she was a little girl. If my mom was still alive, she'd be 98 years old this year. So, you know it's got to be quite old. I don't know if that was supposed to be Santa or my grandfather came from Norway. So I think they have Father Christmas and Krampus. I do believe. I don't know for sure, but it's more Scandinavian. And I don't know, maybe that's supposed to be Krampus. I honestly don't know. My mom never said. She just told me she made it when she was, I don't know, around 9 or 10, 11 years old, something like that. And there it still sits. So, you know, that's very old, and it just means so much. So, here's the beautiful tree. I have another one in the dining room, and I have been doing more decorating. I'm sorry I'm not getting videos out like I should be. I have just been slow at doing everything. You know, I can only do so long, and then literally I almost just sit down and cry for a while. And then I decorate again, and I decided this year I am decorating with purpose. Not just to get something up, but that has meaning. That it's just time to remember the good times in our lives. The gaps in the tree that has been created on cutting out pieces. you know, it is kind of like the gaps in our life when our loved ones pass away. It leaves a hole that nothing will ever compare to. We'll always feel empty. But as we are going in our lives, we're still alive, and those empty holes, maybe we need to find something else. It will never take the place of the loved one that you're missing, but maybe we find other things in our lives to kind of fill in those holes. Something beautiful, something sparkly, something real, something beautiful. When our loved ones pass away, find a way, and it's hard, and you have to grieve through it to finally get to it. That's those Victorian cutouts that they used to do. But find a way in those gaps to put something beautiful. So make those empty holes in your lives something very, very special and meaningful. Let something beautiful represent them, the memory of them. Let it be sparkly memory. Let it represent them. Jesus is the reason for our season. And so therefore we still make sure we have the real meaning. And we light a candle which represents Jesus Christ. We get our light in the world from Him. And we become lights in this dark world, that we may light our path, or light everybody else's path in life, to help them fill in the holes with something beautiful also, and the light of Christ. But may we remember our loved ones and Jesus Christ this Christmas season. And let the Christmas tree have symbolism that truly means something. The green of the tree is green. It doesn't die in the winter. It means everlasting life. The red ribbon running down the tree symbolizes the blood of Jesus that He shed on the cross, and the cross was made out of a tree. The star that brought the wise men to Jesus. And there is just probably somewhere on this tree I have something to do with a shepherd. I'm sure. There should be if there's not. But bring your symbols in here. And the red baubles, they originally were apples on trees, and I don't know why the apple got called the forbidden fruit that Adam and Eve ate. That fruit probably doesn't even exist because it was a one-of-a-kind tree, but traditional. And those apples turned into red balls. I do have some oranges slices in the oven drying, and I will try to show another video with the oranges on the tree. But this is how this has turned out so far. The memory tree. Let ourselves know the love of Jesus and remember our loved ones who has passed away. Their light still shines and fills in the gaps. And their pretty thoughts, their beautiful, sparkly ornaments represents their sparkle of their life. Let's remember them and remember Jesus in all that we do. So I'm going to end this video here, and I hope you all will enjoy it and that it was an inspiration to you all. So you all take care until the next video, which hopefully I can start pulling a few more up pretty soon. Thank you all for watching. You take care and God bless. And again, thanks for watching and look for the next video. Take care. Bye for now. And Merry Christmas.